Many people fail to understand value. They don't understand that we don't define our own value. It's the customer, it's the client, it's the person who utilizes our services who determines our value. I love a story of a little boy who went into a grocery store to apply for a job. And he was 9 years of age, and the grocer was his father's best friend, so the interview was sort of a slam dunk opportunity. So he goes in there, and the owner decided to give him an official sounding interview. He said, "Bobby, have you ever had any experience working in a grocery store?" I said, "No, sir." "Okay. How much do you think you should be paid with absolutely no experience?" He said, "Around $10 an hour." "Ooh, Bobby, that's a lot." I said, "Why so much?" He said, "When you don't know what you're doing, the work's a lot harder." Unfortunately, so many people don't realize it's not us who determines the value. It's always the end user. And we have to always have that in mind. How can we bring more value to the end user? How can we add value? In every job anyone has, I tell people there's always two behaviors. One is required behaviors. Required behaviors are such showing up, following the rules, following the standards, just the basics. Then you have your optional behaviors, something above and beyond in what's required. It's the extras. And this is where opportunities in life come from individuals and from companies. It's providing the extras, the added value, we call it in the business world. What can we do to bring more value? They have a term for this in Louisiana, my favorite term, called lagniappe. Anybody ever heard that word? It means something extra. Usually also means that not required and not expected, but particularly something extra. The first time I heard the word, I was having dinner in New Orleans with a couple of my friends, and I love their food. And I couldn't decide between two entrees. My friend said, "Hurry up, Ken, we want to eat." Okay, I'll go with this one. Well, when the waiter returned and brought our meal, he brought a little side dish of the other entree that I had been looking at and said, "A little lagniappe for you." I thought, now I like this. Something extra. Now, my favorite example happened in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I finished up a speech at 9 o'clock in the morning. My flight back to Atlanta was not till 5 that evening. I thought, well, I got some extra time here. I think I'll go soak up some sun. Just put my bathing suit on and went out and laid by the pool in no time at all. My little lily white skin was beginning to burn. And I realized I needed something to fix myself with or I was going to be in a bind. I'd heard of these things, never actually seen one. On the other side of the pool, they had what was called a suntan consultant. Had a woman over there, a little skimpy bikini, selling suntan lotion. I raised my hand. I got the need right here. She came over and said, "Look, I'm not going to be here long. I want the smallest tube that you have." She brought a little tube about that tall. It should be $7.50. I felt totally ripped off. I felt like I was back at a Braves game trying to buy a hot dog. What I did not understand was the added value, the lagniappe. She not only put it on me, she came and told me when to turn and put it on the other side. It's the best $7.50 ever spent in my life. You see, some people only see extra work. Other people see lagniappe opportunities. Now, I may have been her first customer that morning. I can assure you I was not her last. Hands went up everywhere. See, that's the mindset that is required in today's society to be successful. Doing more than required, the extras. I think your company does a great job in recognizing this with the Judy Starkley Award. Some of the stories I've heard about what's done in the past, where the HCR spent so much time the customer and helping the patient. That in his dying wish, she had a reward given to her. And another one who went on her own accord and found a wheelchair from a church to be able to help the patient. That's going above and beyond. These folks understand what's required to be successful today. And one of the rands, Virginia, who patient disappeared, through her past conversation, she was able to find that he was homeless and living behind an empty dumpster. And she was able to find someone to go and find this man. It's doing more than required. And it's a culture that is required for an organization to be successful, going above and beyond. Now, we find opportunities when we do that.